There was a time when cars were silent when they stopped. No blinking lights, no glowing screens, no invisible decisions being made in the dark. Just metal, oil, and human hands. But today, when a modern car shuts down, something else stays awake. Sensors continue to watch. Systems continue to think. Data continues to move. And this raises a quiet, unsettling question. At what point did cars stop being machines and start becoming something else? We don't notice the change because it didn't happen all at once. It happened gradually, silently, brand by brand. And if you look closely at the rise of today's top car brands, it almost feels unnatural.
Go back 100 years. Early cars didn't pretend to be smart. They didn't hide their intentions. Every sound meant something was physically happening. If it rattled, something was loose. If it smoked, something was burning. If it stopped, it was because you made a mistake. Brands were simple identities. Ford wasn't a vision of the future, it was a solution to dirt roads and long distances. Cars were tools, extensions of muscle and skill, nothing more. But even then, something was already forming beneath the surface. Mass production wasn't just about speed, it was about control. Control over parts, control over workers, control over the way humans moved through space. And that leads to our first strange evolution. Cars didn't just change transportation, they reshaped cities, time, and behavior. This raises a larger question. Were car brands building vehicles or building systems for human life?
Fast forward to the mid-20th century. Cars became symbols, luxury, status, identity. Top brands learned something powerful. People don't just buy transportation, they buy belief. Horsepower numbers grew, designs became aggressive, marketing promised freedom, dominance, control. But beneath the chrome and noise, something new arrived quietly: electronics. At first, they were helpers: radio, basic sensors, simple warning lights, nothing threatening. But this was the moment cars began remembering things humans couldn't see: temperature patterns, fuel efficiency curves, driving behavior. Cars were starting to observe us, and the brands that mastered this invisible layer rose faster than the rest. What we've discovered only deepens the mystery. Did brands evolve because technology improved? Or did technology improve because brands wanted more control? By the late 1990s, something irreversible happened. Mechanical dominance gave way to software authority. A modern car now contains more lines of code than early space missions. Think about that. We trusted machines to carry our families, powered by invisible logic we never see. Top brands stopped competing only on engines. They competed on algorithms: suspension systems that adapt before you feel the road, engines that adjust themselves in real time, brakes that decide faster than human reflexes. This is where the feeling of unnatural begins, because decision-making moved away from humans. The car doesn't ask, it predicts. And this raises a quiet but disturbing idea. Car and AI should merge, but what happens when the car understands the road better than you understand yourself? Look at today's top car brands. They no longer act like manufacturers. They behave like living systems. They update themselves overnight. They learn from millions of drivers at once. They share data across continents. A single mistake in one city teaches every identical car worldwide. That's not mechanical evolution, that's collective learning. Older brands that failed to adapt didn't just fall behind, they vanished. And newer brands didn't rise slowly, they appeared almost suddenly, fully formed. Factories that look more like laboratories. Cars assembled by machines, guided by machines. Humans reduced to supervisors of processes they no longer fully understand. This raises another unsettling question. Are car brands evolving the way species do, or are they evolving the way systems escape control? Modern cars see more than roads. They see faces, eyes, posture, micro-movements. They know when you're tired, when you're distracted, when you're emotional. Some even know where you go when you don't tell anyone. And brands call this safety, convenience, personalization. But safety requires observation, and observation requires memory. Cars are becoming archives of human behavior. Every top brand is quietly building one. This leads us deeper into the mystery. If cars remember everything, who owns those memories? And what happens when brands understand humanity better than humans understand themselves? Stand in a dealership today. Hundreds of models, infinite options, endless customization. Yet, under the surface, most cars share the same digital architecture. Same platforms, same suppliers, same logic. True diversity has narrowed, not expanded. Top brands don't just sell cars, they sell ecosystems. Subscriptions, locked features, remote permissions. A car can lose abilities without physically changing at all, and that's deeply unnatural. Because ownership used to mean control, now it means access. This raises the deepest question yet. If a car can be changed without your consent, who is actually driving? The future didn't arrive loudly. It arrived disguised as convenience. Hands-off driving, silent acceleration, cars that glide instead of roar. Top brands now design cars to feel less like machines and more like companions. Minimal interiors, soft lighting, artificial calm. The car doesn't demand attention anymore. It invites trust. And that might be the strangest evolution of all. Because historically, machines required respect. Now they ask for surrender. What we've discovered only deepens the mystery. When cars no longer feel mechanical, do we lower our guard too easily? Cars before were loud, imperfect, and honest. Cars now are quiet, precise, and unreadable. Top brands didn't just rise by building better vehicles, they rose by reshaping how humans move, think, and trust. And maybe that's why the evolution feels unnatural, because we didn't just upgrade machines, we integrated them into our lives so deeply we stopped noticing where we end and they begin. The road ahead isn't just technological, it's philosophical. And as cars continue to evolve, learning, watching, deciding, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. We've only uncovered the surface. The deeper systems remain unseen, unexplored, and quietly shaping the future. And somewhere ahead, on a road we haven't reached yet, the next evolution is already waiting.